Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And, we got some interesting news about the Washington Commies owner, Daniel Snyder. Um, that's the Washington Commanders for people that actually take notes of what the actual team name is officially called, since we know what it really is called, and that's the Washington Redskins. But, of course, we all know where that went. Anyways, well, more drama. So Daniel Snyder claims that he has dirt, or there's sources that say that he has dirt on the NFL owners. And some people are saying this is a bluff. Some people are saying that this is real, that this is really happening, that he really does this. You know, there are rumors out there that they want him to sell the team. He's not going to sell the team. They're going to try to force him out. There's a bunch of other things. The past couple of years, it's been Tanya Snyder, the wife, that's been attending. She does a lot of the day-to-day operations for the past couple of years. But reports are out there now that that's not true anymore, that Snyder is running the team again, and that Jason Wright is a figurehead. I said this from the get-go, that all these dudes are figureheads. His wife's a figurehead. Jason Wright's a figurehead. Daniel Snyder has been running this team straight through. He's just letting them do what they want. He's just telling them what to say, and then they go and do it. That's how this is going down. That's how this is going down. This guy, dude, this guy is not going to go away. And don't get me wrong. I know we're talking positive on him right now, but let it be known, I do not like this guy. This guy is a cancer to the league. I want him gone. But at the same time, he's not going to be going, because the way these owners operate, these guys are billionaires, and they're going to figure this stuff out. He has more money. He has more money than most of these owners, and he also, if he has dirt on these owners, he could blow up the league. And if you don't think he can't, just go and look. Go and look. Go and look at the what happened last year? Last year, almost an eternity ago. John Gruden. You don't think Dan Snyder didn't have poise on that? He was the one who came up with that. He's the one who leaked it. He's the reason why Gruden isn't in the league anymore. Not that I condone any of the stuff Gruden said, because obviously I don't. I made a video on this. But the fact of the matter is, the validity of those emails being released was to take distraction off Daniel Snyder. Because all the other 5,000 unread emails, 500,000 unread emails, except for the couple of messages that Gruden sent, have been revealed to this day, despite Snyder being subpoenaed by the House of Representatives, okay, refuses to show up. All this controversy on Daniel Snyder, and he is still doing this. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, why can't the NFL just force Snyder out? They can't, because they need 24 of the 32 owners. There's 32 football teams, 32 franchises, so there's 32 owners. So you got 24 owners that you need. Obviously, Snyder's not going to vote himself out. So you got 31, plus the Green Bay Packers, my football team, that I root for. Obviously, you guys know I'm a diehard Green Bay Packers fan if you watch my videos. The thing with that is the Green Bay Packers are owned by the city, so I don't really even know if the Packers can vote on that matter, because it's the city. So I'm assuming the residents aren't voting on the matter. So, casting an election ballot vote, that would be kind of funny, by the way. But so realistically, you need 30 of these owners at least 24 of them, of those 30, to vote this guy out, to force him to sell the team through the league rules. And that ain't going to happen. Reports are Jerry Jones is like, it's being really harder to keep him. You know, Jerry Jones has a lot of influence with the owners, so for the Dallas Cowboys. So if Jerry Jones turns on him, then there's going to be an issue. But again, if he has dirt on Jerry Jones and he has dirt on these other owners, they ain't going to want that shit out. They ain't going to want that shit out about Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell, which I'm sure people would love for Roger Goodell to have to resign as commissioner, because I know people have been wanting him gone for a long time now. But I'm telling you right now, the NFL is not going to sacrifice themselves for Daniel Snyder's, like, private investigators or whatever. Like, if he truly does have dirt on them, they're going to let him keep the team. And Snyder has claimed that he will never sell the team. Yeah, that really makes a bold statement. Just like how you said you were never going to change the Washington Redskins football team name, which you said you can use caps. And guess what? That ended up lasting, 7 years? Never ended up lasting 7 years. Yeah, Snyder, your bold statements really hold weight at this point. But anyways, so now, as you all know, Snyder has a big issue with the stadium. As we guys know, or if you guys don't know, Washington Stadium is terrible. Like, it's in terrible conditions. And like, I know I myself have made videos talking about, you know, the new stadiums that don't need to be replaced. Like the Buffalo Bills Stadium is going to be replaced in like 3 years or whatever after they build their new stadium that they just got approved last year. I have said that I don't believe that they needed to get rid of the Bills Stadium that they currently have, because the stadium's actually in good condition, which it is. However, I'm different when it comes to Washington Stadium, because Washington Stadium, there has been multiple people on social media that have gone to the games and they post videos of shit that's happening in the stadium. There was a leakage, there was a pipe leakage where water was literally coming down a fan that was sitting in one of the seats. There was also, after an Eagles game, in Washington Stadium, last year, where people that were on the front side going, next to the tunnel, the whole thing collapsed. And, they ended up taking pictures with Justin Herbert. It was literally when the Eagles quarterback was running out the tunnel. You guys can look those up online. But the stadium is seriously in dire need of serious repairs, and they need a new stadium. So one of the things that's going on that I'm hearing is that the NFL is trying to force Snyder out by not of the league owners, but by of a tactic that's within the league rules, where if they give you like a stadium, if you have so much accrued debt that you're forced to sell the team. And Daniel Snyder already has a huge debt loan that he got from the owners in the NFL to buy all the remaining shares of Washington's football team. Basically, as you guys know, when he was forced to change team name and all the allegations came out shortly after that, Washington has minority owners. Mostly every football team has minority owners that you've never heard of. They have small stakes into the team, but they don't make the critical decisions because they aren't the majority owner. So Daniel Snyder owns 60%, which is the majority ownership of the team. But then the other 50% was from other minority owners. And they all sold their stake in the ownership because of all the baggage that Snyder, or all the baggage that was found out by Daniel, that was found out and revealed of what happened with Daniel Snyder and all these allegations of work misconduct and whatnot. So Schneider sold, or Snyder bought the minority owner's stake. So he is like the sole owner right now of the team. Okay. By being able to do that, he had to get like a debt loan or something like that. And so he's accruing he has to, like, pay that in with interest. So he eventually has to pay that off. Now, I'm not a credit person, so I would not be able to answer the the terminology of how that all works and whatnot. But basically, one of the theories is because he has that still on the table, and he needs a new stadium, and most of the cities do not want him as the owner. All the cities around the local areas that have offered to build a new stadium for him do not want him as owner anymore. Where the old stadium was before they built this stadium that they're currently in, was on was in the District of Columbia on federal grounds, and that stadium, that's where they would want to build a new stadium, but the problem is it's on federal grounds and they don't want him as the owner, so that's out. Another option was in Virginia, and while I think the governor is on board for it, a lot of the state legislators are not on board for it. It's a Democrat-Republican power type deal. But so that was another option to move him to Virginia. But that doesn't seem to be on the table anymore either. So there aren't that many options for him in terms of building a new stadium. If he does, like I said, if he does do a debt waiver loan, again, for the stadium, that would force him to lose the ownership of the team, and then it would go to his wife. Like he would have to transfer ownership to his wife. I guess that's what some people are saying would end up happening, and that is another clever way for him to lose ownership of the team. Which would be kind of a unique way of going about it. But nonetheless, he claims he's not going to leave as owner, and I believe that he will still be the owner. And I think this because if he truly does have dirt on them, they've seen what happened with John Gruden. They're not going to want that to happen to them as owners or Roger Goodell. So what they're going to do is they're going to let him do what he wants to do. And what I think will end up happening is he will end up I've said this before, and I'll say it again. And I know this is still a stretch, but I'll still say it. I think he's going to move the team out of there completely. Not just Virginia, not just Maryland, District of Columbia, whatever. I think that team is moving out of that area, period. Like, I think he's going to be moved to a different team. Now the relocation process, obviously that costs like I think $150 million to relocate a team out of the area. But I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to move the team to a place that is going to that's going to be willing to pay for a stadium for him where he doesn't have to pay for anything. That's what I think is going to happen. I think he's moving that team out of Washington. They're not going to be They're not going to be Washington anymore. They're going to be something else. I don't know what they're going to be. I mean, technically, if they moved to Virginia, they wouldn't be Washington anymore anyways. But Virginia's like, where they want to build it in Virginia is like really close to, the border of District of Columbia and Maryland and stuff like that. But, it's a clever thing. Same thing what they did when, the Giants moved and then eventually the Jets moved to New Jersey. When they built Giant Stadium. Now, of course, Giant Stadium's gone. Now they got MetLife Stadium, but that's how they kind of got them out of there to New Jersey, even though they're still called New York. That was kind of their clever way of going about it. But I think they're gonna move that team out. I think they're going to move that team out because you want to know something. There's one thing that's always says about cities and states. If they have a chance to get a sports team, they'll freaking deal with you. They'll deal with you. Baltimore dealt with Art Modell. Okay, Art Modell was not a very good owner. He was in worse debt situation than Snyder is. Okay, and he got that team out of Cleveland. He moved to Baltimore. Obviously, Cleveland did eventually get their team back, but that's not the point of the story. Art Modell managed to do it. He was the villain of Washington. He was the villain of Cleveland, but he became a hero to another sports team. And I can guarantee it right now that if there's another team or another city or state that can woo Daniel Snyder to moving his franchise to their state or whatever, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. It don't matter about the damn fight song. You're going to have that fight song. There's a lot of people like, oh, well, he did all this fight. Dude, they literally went like what? Now 3 years rebranding the damn team? You don't think he's going to do it again? You don't think he's going to try to do it again? If it means that he gets the money, he gets a new stadium. Again, this goddamn situation. Obviously, this situation is not nearly as close as Art Modell's situation because Art Modell didn't have like sexual allegations against him. Well, not him per se, but not him per se, but the organization, misconduct and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Art Modell didn't have that. Okay, Art Modell didn't have any of these type of allegations. The only thing Art Modell was he was just a terrible businessman. Okay, like he was in financial peril. That was his issue. Daniel Snyder has both. He has social problems right now, social media problems right now because of people in public opinion don't like him because of how he handles himself in the building, running the organization. And he has financial problems with a stadium issue. The same thing Art Modell had. He has the same thing that Art Modell had in 1996 or 95. And he has the public image issue as well. He has both. Toxic work environment, which I don't think it was like that with Art Modell. Art Modell, yeah, he was a bad owner, but I don't think he ever had it to the point where he had all this shit on top of having a bad stadium and having, money issues. So it's going to be a big deal. I'm telling you, it's going to be a big deal when this happens. I'm telling you, he's going to move that team. That team will be moved out of Washington. It will be moved out of Maryland, Washington, District of Columbia, whatever. It will be moved out of there. If they can't secure the stadium deal with Virginia, I'm telling you, watch out. I'm calling it right now on this channel. Watch out. Watch him go to another franchise. I wouldn't be surprised if he's exploring options already. I wouldn't be surprised if he's exploring options already about possibly moving the team out of state. Completely out of state. Like somewhere like St. Louis, Alabama, San Diego, any of those teams, because, a lot of those teams wanted, San Antonio. I mean, that would be the ultimate FU to Jerry Jones if he moved the team to San Diego. You know Jerry Jones would be like, oh no. Jerry Jones would be so pissed. I could just see it too. Because if Jerry Jones is going to turn on Daniel Snyder, because that's one of the rumors is that Jerry Jones is turning on Daniel Snyder. I'm almost willing to bet he would do it out of spite. He would freaking move that team to San Antonio just to stick it to him. Because San Antonio was originally going to get the Raiders. That is a known fact now. I mean, there was rumors about it for a couple of years, but now it's been confirmed that San Antonio was the original site of where Mark Davis wanted to move that team. He's going to move that team to San Antonio. He is going to move that team to San Antonio, Texas. But Jerry Jones convinced Mark Davis. Mark Davis is he's the poorest of the owners. Like, don't get me wrong, Mark Davis is rich, but he's the poorest owner. Like, he has the less wealth of them because he just basically got the inheritance of Al Davis. So he doesn't really have that much money compared to the other owners, right? So he doesn't have as much influence as the other owners do. And so Jerry Jones basically bullied him into convincing him to move the Raiders from Oakland to Las Vegas. Las Vegas ended up giving him almost the same amount of money that he would have gotten for San Antonio. But San Antonio is where he originally wanted to go. I mean, that's been confirmed now. Ended up paying off in the end because obviously Las Vegas, Nevada isn't really exactly that far away from Oakland, California. I think it's about 2 or 3 hours, they were saying, away from each other. I could be wrong on that, but it's still pretty close. Relatively close in terms of, Texas, obviously, which is way far away. So I'll tell you right now, I think he's moving that team. He freaking, end of the day, the owners, all they care about is money. They care about money at this point. There was one of the owners had said, one of the anonymous owners had said, if he can get a stadium deal, a good stadium deal for a new stadium built, would you be fine with him then? And they said yes. That's all that matters. If he can secure a stadium deal, that's all that matters. The owners will be fine with him after that. It's just status quo for them. All that matters to them is the bottom dollar at this point. That is all that matters to him now. So if he can secure a stadium deal, they'll forgive him. Because that's all they give a shit about. They give a shit about one thing, and that's money. Because right now, they're costing him. Like, right now, the Commanders, as an organization, no one gives a shit about them right now. They do not. They're a horribly run organization. The team isn't doing good. And they're losing revenue because they had to change the team name. And because they had to change the team name, a lot of the people that were loyal fans have now left. I think there was a report during their training camp. There was maybe 4 people watching them, from the stands. That's pathetic. For a fucking $1 billion organization. For a $1 billion organization. For a $1 billion run organization, franchise, he has 4 people at training camp watching, 4 fans watching their team in training camp. That is pathetic. And embarrassing. And he should be embarrassed for that. And they're losing revenue. They're losing money. And, again, at the end of the day, it's the bottom dollar. And if he's not making them money, they want him out. And if he can't get a stadium deal, they're definitely going to want him out. So he's got to get a stadium deal. And if it means going to another city, I guarantee you he'll go to it. Because the cities and states I've named are people that actually want a football team. They want a football franchise. And I think it would be so ironic if he moved that team, if he moved Washington to San Antonio to really stick it to Jerry Jones. That would be kind of so. That would That's already a rivalry, right? The Washington and Dallas is already a rivalry, right? Well, I don't know if it's really exactly a rivalry anymore because of not having the original team name and all, but in the confines of the NFL, it's a rivalry. Um, so they'd be real rivals then. But yeah, I mean, it's not a good look. It's not a good look, man, for him, and it's not a good look for the NFL. But yeah, that's my take on this. What do you guys think is going to happen to Daniel Snyder? Where do you think he go? Do you think he sells? Do you think he'll be forced to sell the team because he's not going to sell the team unless he's forced? Do you think it goes to his wife? Do you think he moves the team out, which I don't think enough people are talking about, by the way? Do you think he actually moves the team out of Washington entirely? Maryland, Virginia, etc., moves him to somewhere far away. Do you think that's a possibility? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Comment, rate. If you like this video, my videos, please subscribe. Hit that bell for all the latest contents. And that's about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of it. Peace! Also, make sure, besides my YouTube channel, to go to my Twitch, SS Ultimate Goku. Instagram, SS Ultimate Goku. Follow. And then I also have my Discord link for my Discord server for fictional media discussions, like anime, cartoons, live action movies, sports, all that great stuff. And yes, now I'm out. Peace.